From inside the McLeod Center on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa, it's the Cliff Keen USA Wrestling Folkstyle National Championships. I'm Shane Sparks, glad to have you aboard. 15 champions will be crowned this afternoon. Beginning at 100 pounds, it's Dalton Roberts, Fowlerville, Michigan, and Michael BANNACH from Wrightstown, Wisconsin. In the cadet and junior divisions, here in Cedar Falls, nearly 1,500 participants. Roberts, a junior at Fowlerville. Head coach Dan Kuhn will see his teammate Adam Kuhn in the final at 285. BANNACH, a junior at Wrightstown High School in Wisconsin. BANNACH wearing the red ankle band on his right ankle. Roberts with the knee pad on his left knee. He's in the green ankle band with the USA Wrestling singlet. Roberts with an underhook left side, tries a lower level. Back to the center, 1:30 remaining in this first period. Roberts last year was 5th here as a cadet at 88 pounds. He's a state Greco and freestyle champion in Michigan. And last year in Akron, a FILA cadet national champion at 42 kilos, which is 92.5 pounds. Roberts and BANNACH here in this 100-pound final, kind of filling each other out in the first 55 seconds. There's a nice shot here from Roberts, but good hips from BANNACH, able to keep his hips back. Has Roberts underneath now. Buries his head in the side, see if he's able to turn the corner. And out of bounds once again, back to the center, 48 seconds. Wrightstown High School co-head coaches, Bill and Matt Verbaten. Bill, a Wisconsin Wrestling Coaches Association Hall of Fame coach. At Wrightstown, they've won team championships. In 1999, they went back-to-back in 05 and 06. Made runner-up finish back in 1998, one of the solid Wisconsin high school programs in Division II. Roberts in deep on a shot, head to the outside, switches off to a double, dumps BANNACH to his hips. Inside 20 seconds, BANNACH does a nice job right there to square his hips up. Roberts been more aggressive on his feet. He's had a couple of opportunities, but unable to capitalize. And now BANNACH with a scoring opportunity. Inside of 10 seconds, he spins around and gets the takedown. And BANNACH leads it 2-0. All about scoring in short time. You find a way to win those final 20, 30 seconds. Going to win a lot of matches. And that was big as BANNACH was able to score off a Roberts shot. He had a really good shot. He was in deep, but just couldn't finish. And Roberts will start the second period on bottom, trailing at 2-0. BANNACH quickly breaks him down to his belly with an ankle pick. Just a huge momentum swing. I mean, Roberts looked like he was in supreme position to score the takedown, but didn't finish. And now BANNACH going to work on top, tight waist, making Roberts carry his weight. Good pressure in the top position. Roberts with his head down. He's got to get his head up. BANNACH with that near ankle scooped up. Now he's going to work a far side cradle. Always appreciate guys riding tough on top. Couple weeks out from the national championships in Des Moines, and one thing I really took away from those championships was you want to win tough matches. You got to be tough in that top position. You break guys on top. Whether it's a 20-second ride or just being really stingy. Maybe you got to keep them down for a minute, but no free points. You ride them tough. It's a game changer. Changes strategy, changes the complexion of a match. And BANNACH here been able to ride for the first minute 5 in the second period. Now he's going to roll him through. Gets a couple of swipes. And 2 more near fall points. gives Bannock a 4-0 lead here in the second period. Bannock with that near wrist. Slides in his left leg. Inside a 20-second second period. And Michael Bannock scores late in the first. And now is 10 seconds away from a rideout here in the second period. These are the situations we're talking about. All those battles within the battle. This is one of them. If you're Roberts, got to find a way to get one. Bannock, of course, you want to maintain that 4-0 lead. There's an ankle pick. 2 in the first on the takedown, 2 more in the second with the near fall, and Bannock leads it 4-0. Bannock's got choice. He chooses bottom, and up 4-0. I question this decision. You've taken him down, and now here in the second period, you rode him for 2 minutes and you turned him. Why go on bottom? You've earned the right to stay in that top position. I completely disagree with this call, but again, trust the coaches and the athletes. You know, these coaches know these athletes better than I do, but I definitely question that decision. Gotten to know Jim Gibbons a little bit these past couple of years, the national championship coach and wrestler at Iowa State. We talk a lot about wrestling strategy, and if this was a situation, let's say in November, December, and it was a match within the state, and a good chance that you would meet your opponents in the state tournaments, under those circumstances, you'd want to go on bottom to see what he's got. Because if you meet in that state championship, you've already gotten a little bit of a taste of what he's like in that position. But in a match like this, it's my opinion, you want to win a national title, it's about winning today. Not as much of a big picture philosophy as compared to what I described. And Roberts, tough here on top and able to ride for 1:05, but he needs a couple of turns. Managing a match, so important. Making the correct decisions. All about position. Putting yourself in the best position for success. Bannock able to sit. And now he's going to get the reversal. 6-0. Impressive workmanlike performance here for Michael Bannock. Michael Bannock has never qualified for the Wisconsin State Tournament. Like I said, he's a junior there at Wrightstown High School. Wrightstown is about 20 minutes away from Titletown, about 20 miles away from Green Bay. And taking advantage of an opportunity, a chance to compete, get better. And this will be big for his confidence, really give him something to build upon heading into a summer training. 2 in each period gives us a final score of 6-0. Bannock over Roberts. Michael Bannock of Wrightstown, Wisconsin, your Cliff Keen Folkstyle National Champion at 100 pounds. Bannock with a first period pin, a 5-1 decision in the semis, and 6-0 in this championship final. Up next here at 106 pounds, it's Chris Lacayo from San Diego High School in Corona, California, and Jarrett Reisenbeckler, Jackson High School in Jackson, Missouri. Lacayo, a junior, Reisenbeckler, a sophomore. Reisenbeckler in the black and yellow singlet. Lacayo with the black knee pad on his left knee. California, of course, phenomenal state tournament. Some of the best competition in the country with just one class in California. 32-man brackets. This past season at 106, Lacayo was top 12 at the California State Championships. Reisenbeckler, a runner-up as a sophomore. He was fourth a year ago as a freshman, both at 106. Steve Glassy, head coach there at San Diego High School. No score, 50 seconds remaining here in this first period. Reisenbeckler last year as a cadet, a runner-up at 100 pounds, lost in the championship to Mitchell McKee from Minnesota. Short time, 25 seconds. See if one of these guys able to get a small window, pull a trigger. Couple of shots there from Lacayo, and a good scramble out of bounds. 21 ticks, good quick hustle there from Reisenbeckler back to the center of the mat. Reisenbeckler, three-point stance. Now back up as they engage, forehead to forehead. As the final seconds tick away in this first period, Lacayo and Reisenbeckler, a scoreless opening 2 minutes. Choice goes to Reisenbeckler. He defers, and Lacayo will go on bottom, and it's a 0-0 match. You got choice. If you defer, you're telling me one thing. If you defer in this situation, you're telling me you're going to score in that top position. Want to score that first point if it would come down to that ultimate tiebreaker where you would have choice going bottom or top. And Reisenbeckler here doing a nice job. 15 seconds in, tight waist, good pressure on top. Look at those long arms, kind of a coffee grinder now with that right arm. Derek Sikora next to me with USA Wrestling, and Derek, him and I go back to Wisconsin, and he knows when I see a guy defer 0-0, I'm about ready to jump out of my seat, but not so fast. Haven't seen these guys in Reisenbeckler. Showing us how tough he is in that top position. And as I said in that first match, and now there's an escape by Lacayo, so he scores that first point. He's on the board 1-0. When you can ride, it changes everything. It's a game changer. And if I'm a middle school wrestler or a high school wrestler, and I go back to those national championships, nice fireman's carry there from Lacayo, and he now leads it 3-0. You got to work in those tough positions. Lacayo here with an armbar, going to try to tilt him. And now he's going to get near fall points. What a period. You talk about just great chain wrestling, escape to a takedown. Takes him to his back with near fall. He's got two coming, 5-0. That arm bar. Up on his toes. Good pressure. And now here with 20 seconds, can he get another turn? He's going to go back to it. Armbar tilt. Just good, hard wrestling from Lacayo. A lot of California kids here. Represented well in these finals. 5-0. We had a scoreless first period. Lacayo with some blood trickling down his nose. They'll address him. And at scoreless first period, Lacayo comes out just tough and physical in this second period. I always love these battles, of course, in the wrestling sense. You come out here, it's a battle. When that guy steps to that line, he has accepted the challenge of wanting to fight. That's what it is. It's a fight, it's a battle, and you better answer the bell. And, hey, it's all about drawing first blood. You want to throw that first punch. You're the guy that's going to dictate the style of the match, the pace, the tempo of the match, the physicality of it. That's in your hands. You're responsible to make that happen. And Lacayo's been the guy that's done exactly that here in the second period. An escape, a takedown, and a turn for two. Big crooked 5 spot on the board for the junior from San Diego High School in California. Neutral here in this third period. And Reisenbeckler again is going to have to really increase that urgency. You're down by 5. No time to panic. But at the same time, maybe you got something in that bag of tricks. What do you got, feet to back? You look at Lacayo just maintaining really good position, wrestling smart. Slide by attempt there from Reisenbeckler as they run out of bounds. 1:25 here in this third period. Saw Michael Bannack of Wisconsin win the title at 100 pounds. Reisenbeckler's got to pick up his pace, increase urgency. You're down 5-0. Lacayo doing a nice job there just to tie him up. Good head-hands defense as we approach the 1-minute mark here in this third period. Reisenbeckler in a tough spot underneath. Time ticking away on the sophomore from Jackson, Missouri. Lacayo in his semifinal match, 5-1 over Miguel Silva Jr. from Illinois. Reisenbeckler with a first period pin. He stuck Carl Wilhelm of Indiana to cement his spot in this 106-pound final. Chris Lacoya dives in, splits the middle. And he's just going to hang tight as the clock hits 0. 5-0 final on that big second period. Chris Lacoya of California, your Cliff Keen USA Wrestling Folkstyle National Champion at 106 pounds. In our first two matches at 100 and 106 pounds, both guys have had a turn. You'll hear me talk about it all the time, just being so tough on top. And when you're on top, you're looking for points, looking to score points, looking for turns. Here we are at 113 pounds. This is California locking up with Illinois. Joey Cisneros from California, Redwood High School there in Visalia, California. And Brian Rossi from Lockport, Illinois. And Rossi leads it 2-0. Rossi knee pad on his right knee. The blue and yellow singlet. Quick takedown just 17 seconds in. Josh Oster, head coach there at Lockport. Rossi third the past couple years at the Illinois State Championships. They're in 3A as Lockport. That's the largest of the three Illinois divisions. Illinois freestyle state champion as a cadet. Was an All-American, placing 7th in Fargo at 106. Dave Watts, head coach there at Redwood High School. 2-1 score, 55 seconds. Again, California just with that one class. Cisneros in and a double leg. He scores his second takedown of the period and in command with a 4-1 lead. Has that tight waist and a half. Gonna try to get some near fall points. He gets the 5 count for the 3, and it's now 7-1. Cisneros has qualified as both a sophomore and as a junior, been in the top 12 both campaigns. California Freestyle and Greco state champion, was 4th at Fargo last year in Greco juniors. And Rossi's going to get another turn, or working on one anyways. No back points. Really close to scoring some more near fall points, but 7 points scored by Rossi. Couple of takedowns and a turn for 3. Leads at 7-1, and he'll go on bottom to start this second period. Rossi, quick stand-up. Hand fights and escapes. Now 8-1. Cisneros wrestled out in Fargo Freestyle. Said he was 4-2 out in Fargo, and just so many great opportunities provided by USA Wrestling and Folkstyle, Freestyle, and Greco, and all about competing. It all works together. Rossi, another leg attack, single leg, back trip. One thing I like about Rossi is the quick finishes. And he goes back to that tight waist in that half. Brian Rossi, 10-1, was able to see him at the Cheesehead in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Start of the new year, believe he took 3rd. Suffered a tough loss to Aaron Smith of Port Washington in the semifinal. Had a nice lead, I want to say 7 or 8 points, and he got caught and pinned. That's what you love about this sport. You know, even right now you're up 10-1 midway through the second period, and you're in command. But as we all know in this sport, no matter what, always under constant attack. You're always vulnerable. Got to respect your opponent, finish the deal, continually wrestle, don't compromise position, finish strong.
He's a junior, right?
Had a nice little ceremony before these championships. Rossi just showing his prowess in the neutral position here on top. A couple of turns already. 2 more makes it 12-1. And you know, Rossi coming off a tough match in the semis, 3-1 in sudden victory over Doyle Trout in Nebraska. Cisneros 15-4 major over Cal Gerber of Wisconsin in his semifinal match. But Cisneros has run into a buzzsaw here in Rossi. 12-1. Two states here in California and Illinois with phenomenal high school wrestling. Cisneros with choice chooses neutral. Down 12-1. Been taken down 2 or 3 times. Been turned a few times, down 12-1. I might consider taking my chances on top. Cisneros pinching that left elbow of Rossi. Of course, with a minute and a half, down 12-1, going to take a pin to win this one for Cisneros. And that's where I think, you know, Greco really helps. You know, those learning how to hand fight, learning how to battle, of course, the throws. You know, what do you got? You know, those big home runs, a lot of times you learn those in Greco. 50 seconds. This match has been all Brian Rossi, Lockport, Illinois junior. Shot from Cisneros. Cisneros, single leg, going to get Rossi up in the air. And there's a takedown there by Cisneros. Going to cut him right away. 13-3. I respect it with Cisneros. I mean, you're down by 10 points. It's late, inside of 30 seconds. A lot of guys right there, you quit competing. But Cisneros didn't do that, able to get a takedown, and just appreciate that he kept competing. You keep wrestling. And now really forcing the pace. There's a stalling call on Rossi. You know, just 10 seconds left. Rossi's going to win this match. Quick shut off the whistle there by Cisneros. But, you know, Cisneros wrestled hard for 6 minutes, and that's all you can ask. On this day, Brian Rossi, a little bit too much. Brian Rossi over Joey Cisneros, 13-3. And Rossi of Illinois, your national champion at 113 pounds. This, of course, the first leg of the USA Wrestling Triple Crown, the Greco and Freestyle Championships inside the Fargo Dome in July. Looking forward to this battle here at 120 pounds. Ronnie Bresser and Zahid Valencia. Couple of hammers here. Something's got to give. Bresser, he's in the red singlet. He's got that knee pad, left knee. Valencia, blue singlets. Ronnie Bresser, a three-time state champion from Henley High School in Klamath Falls, Oregon. Last year, here in this junior division at 113 pounds, beat Minnesota's Tommy Thorne to claim the title. Bresser, double state champion in freestyle and Greco, has verbaled to Oregon State. What a job Coach Zaleski's done there with the Beavers. Coming off a really solid NCAA championships in Des Moines and forced to be reckoned with there in the country, of course, really controlling things in the great Northwest. Valencia, as a sophomore, was third at the California State Tournament at 113 a year ago as a freshman, a state champion at 106. Here's Bresser. As they wrestle near the edge, Bresser single leg, head to the outside. See Valencia there trying to have a chest lock. They'll come back to the center, 55 seconds. Zahid, he too, like Bresser, a state freestyle and Greco champion. Valencia, freestyle cadet national champion at 113. Half a minute here in this first period. Bresser and Valencia in this 120-pound final. Both guys drop down, hand fighting. Short time here in the first. Valencia from St. John Bosco in Bellflower, California. Head coach Omar Delgado. Comes up green, so the choice goes to Valencia. He defers. Bresser goes on bottom. Again, scoreless match. You win the flip, you defer. You're telling me you're going to score on top. Want to score first point. And Valencia defers and doesn't waste a whole lot of effort in that top position as Bresser gets an escape 5 seconds in. Oh, nice shot there from Bresser. Little counter shot. Let's see if he's able to finish. Got to elevate. Got to keep working up if you're Valencia. Don't want to get a stalemate called. Pretty good scoring opportunity here. See Bresser tying up the right hand. And now Valencia trying to reach across that near ankle, but out of bounds. Good defense there from Bresser. 1:18 here in the second period. especially in a scoreless match, too. You got choice and you go on bottom, get that escape. You got to be thinking to yourself at that time against a tough kid, you're able to score a takedown, go up 3-0. A lot of times can break a guy right there in that second period in that situation. Couple of good flurries here in the second period, inside of a minute now. Both guys on their knees. Forehead to forehead collar tie. Bresser takes a quick peek at the clock that reads 35 seconds. Snap down from Bresser. Bresser's shot, no setup, dove in from far distance. Didn't close the gap. After a scoreless first period, Bresser with an early escape in the second. And Bresser will take that 1-0 lead to the third. Valencia with choice, chooses bottom. Another thing, too, is it's easy. You got more energy in the second period to get out from on bottom. You got more energy. If you're going to go on bottom after you win the flip in that second period. There's a caution on Bresser. Curious to see Bresser in this top position. Quick stand-up, good explosion off the whistle there from Valencia. Hand fighting. Bresser to a single leg. They're stalling on Bresser. So Bresser's got to be careful now to not get caught around the ankles. Be in a tough spot there. If that would happen, it'd be 1-1, and then you risk Valencia getting an escape and beating you 2-1. At least that's a circumstance that could play out. Second caution on Bresser. Got to be careful here. Next one, of course, a point. There's again a quick stand-up from Valencia, and this time Bresser's going to cut him. And this one is knotted at 1. Bresser scoring that first point. Nice shot there from Valencia. See Bresser there with the whizzer. Now Valencia here, can he get to that far ankle, that far knee, gets to it, and scores the 2. It's a great shot there from Valencia. Got to that far knee and leads it 3-1. That was a crisp shot with purpose. Committed to it. He's got a 2-on-1, trying to drag Bresser back inside the circle. Valencia, just a sophomore. McLeod Center here at University of Northern Iowa as a caution called on Valencia. Great setup here once again. Cliff Keen, USA, Folkstyle Nationals, the first of the Triple Crown legs here in early April. Valencia trying to suck him back a little bit. Here Valencia's increased his pressure in the top position. There's a sit from Bresser, and he escapes to pull it within 1. 33 seconds. Only takedown scored in this match, that by Valencia. Here in this third period, Bresser's got 20 seconds. What's your go-to shot? What's the setup? What's the attack? Slick shot there by Valencia once again. Valencia's quick. We've seen a number of different shots from him. Last two attacks. Really good shots. 4 seconds left. Valencia has not been called for stalling, so. And Bresser makes it a little bit interesting. A lot of respect shown after that match, 3-2. Zahid Valencia from California, your 120-pound national champion. You're looking at 126 pounds, Julian Flores and Trey Blackwell. Flores with a quick shot right off the whistle. He's in that blue singlet from San Marino High School near Pasadena. Head coach John Acevedo, more California. As a freshman, was 5th at the state tournament at 120. Blackwell from Union City High School from Morganfield, Kentucky. Head coach Marcus Hain. He was 6th year last year at juniors at 120. Two-time Kentucky state champion, winning the title this year as a junior at 120. He was 8th as an 8th grader, 3rd as a freshman, and winning those state titles in his sophomore junior campaigns. Blackwell leading at 2-0. Kentucky, I know Kyle Rochelle was an All-American at Wisconsin for Barry Davis. Not too many Kentucky greats out there, but Trey Blackwell trying to make a name for himself and represent Kentucky. 35 seconds. Look at Flores sitting on his knees. Right leg slid in by Blackwell. And Flores right now, head down. When your head's on the mat, bad things happen. And for Blackwell getting that first takedown and now equally as importantly, going to get the ride out. Big difference between 2-0 and 2-1. Flores with choice. Blackwell chooses bottom, and I love this spot for him. You're up 2-0, and obviously the mindset right here is escaping a takedown and break him. If you're Flores right there, it's a tough first period down 2-0, but you go bottom and escape, you're right back in the match. Or 3 near fall or 2 near fall right here, exactly. Score some back points. And stalemate whistled with 1:35. Blackwell has been pretty dominant. Opened his tournament with a 20-4 tech. His closest match was his second match, 13-11 decision. And since then, 3 straight pins, the latest in the semis over Wisconsin's Philip Opelt. Flores with a tight quarterfinal match, 2-1. And in the semis, 5-2 over Stefan Polakowski of Illinois. Impressed with Flores here in the second period on top. Half Nelson at thigh pry, kind of a spiral. Able to break Blackwell down once again with good forward pressure. Controlling the wrists. Likes to go back to that half. Flores, he'll have choice in the third period. You just take so much out of a guy when you ride him for 2 minutes. Not only physically, but just as, if not more importantly, just the mental side of things. You really wear a guy down. And now Flores will go on bottom. He trails it 2-0. Both these guys solid on top. Neither one has been able to escape when they're on bottom. Flores looking for a switch. Blackwell crawls up and covers hips. .120 here in the third. 126-pound final. Flores from California, Blackwell from Kentucky. Quick jog in there by Flores, back to the center. Right here, if you're Flores, you have not been hit with a caution. If I'm Flores right now, I'm gonna try to time that whistle. If I get a caution, so be it. You got to get a quick start off the whistle. Stands up, but Blackwell able to dump him back down to his hips. Now Flores squares his hips up off a whizzer. Works to his feet and escapes. We got ourselves a 2-1 match with a minute remaining here in this third period. Couple of shots exchanged. That last one, Flores lowered his level. Hit him pretty good out of bounds. Yeah, Blackwell is in the blue singlet. I may have misspoke to start the match. And there's a stalling call on Blackwell. Got to maintain position. Stay center circle. 18 seconds. Still plenty of time here. Little fireman's there from Blackwell. He's going to put Flores on his back. 2-2 to close the match. 6-1 the final as Blackwell gets a couple of big hugs from his corner. Kentucky has a national champion at 126 pounds. It's Trey Blackwell from Union City High School there in Morganfield. Blackwell over Flores, 6-1, tight match. Score not indicative of exactly how tight that match was. It was 2-1 late. Nice fireman's And the 2 near fall points there from Blackwell to put a cherry on top of that national title. Talk about running through the finish line. Cliff Keene, USA Wrestling Folkstyle National Championships. We're up at 132 pounds. Ali Nasser and Dalton Brady. Nasser, the red, white, and blue singlet. Good shot there from Dalton Brady. Brady in on a single leg. Brady from Chandler, Arizona. He's a 4-time state champion. A senior winning his last state title at 140. Suffered 1 career loss as a freshman. Gets a takedown, gives an escape 2-1. Wrestle for Coach Williams at Utah Valley University. Coached by Vidal Mejia and Curtis Owen there at Chandler. Chandler Division I, that's the largest of the 4 divisions there in Arizona. Action stopped during this first period. And Brady been a freight train to these finals. Closest match was actually his first one. He won it 10-5. Since then, a first period pin, a 16-5 major, a tech 17-2 in the quarters, and beat a really tough kid from Wisconsin, Ryan Costello, who had 4 pins up to the semifinal against Brady. It was Brady 16-1. Domination. Nasser 6-5 in the first tiebreaker in the quarterfinals. Then it was 7-3 over Mark Voss of Minnesota in the semis. Nasser and Brady, 2-1 score. Brady up by 1, 50 seconds first period. Nasser from El Camino Real High School, Woodland Hills, California. Head coach there is Terry Fisher, also does a lot of work with Jimmy Medeiros. Nasser 7th as a sophomore, 4th this season as a senior. Nasser was 3rd at Fargo at 125 in freestyle last July. Freestyle state champion there in California. Final 10 seconds here in this first period. And on the strength of a takedown, Brady 2-1 to the second. Seen a lot of really good, hard wrestling these past couple of days. Tough kids gathering from around the country to put it on the line. Test yourself against the best in the country. That's how you get better. Iron sharpens iron. And one thing you learn at these tournaments is there's always somebody out there better. You know, you look at some of these states, you see state champions not only getting beat, but beat pretty badly by guys around the country. Good measuring stick, and you got to seek out competition. You got to wrestle the best guys. It's about getting better. You got to be thinking big picture, getting better. It doesn't do you any good to pin 5 or 6 kids in the first period. I'd rather come and have a couple overtime matches. I want to leave here with some battle wounds, some scars, take back home. Brady's escape makes it 3-1. Nasser trying to pull Brady back in, but Brady with a whizzer and out of bounds. Brady's got the head bandaged up. That bandage shaking itself loose. Nasser here with another opportunity, but again, not a whole lot of real estate to work with. A little bit more than last time on the opposite side of the mat. And Brady able to kick out of it. .101 here in the second. He'll clean Brady up once again. Another great turnout, nearly 1,500 competing in the cadet and junior divisions. I believe I saw a number around 1,200. For the kids divisions. Really cool setup here inside the McLeod Center. Pretty good crowd. Got a little bang your head banging in the background. Believe bang your head is Quiet Riot, I believe. I'm getting the nod from Chad Kovacs, manning our camera this afternoon. Chad Kovacs from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, but he's got it figured out. He leaves to go to California for 5 months. He's got it rough. His fiance's going to school to become an optometrist. He's got it all figured out. My oldest son is 17. I always tell him when Chad comes over, take notes and listen. He's got it all figured out. Back at it here in the second period. Always marry up. If there's anything you take from this broadcast, that's it. Marry up. Brady leading it 3-1.
You should have asked me, what's your favorite quote?
Talk with Derek Sikora of USA Wrestling and talk to these guys for a couple of minutes before the finals. After their semifinal victory anyways, and Derek said he should ask these guys what their favorite quote is, and of course, the best wrestling quote I have ever heard happened in Des Moines when Tony Ramos, after a victory over John Morris and a couple of Illinois guys, Ramos said, "I am the monster in his closet." I love that line. Ramos and Cedar, that match didn't disappoint in the final. What a great championships. This one heads to the third period. Nasser choosing bottom. And a nice quick escape. 3-2. Nasser's had a couple of nice shots, but both near the edge, unable to finish. Shot from Brady. Oh, good wrestling there. For a split second, looked like Nasser was going to be able to spin around behind and take the lead. Gets this crowd excited. Look at Nasser get right back to the center quickly. He's got 1:05 to work with, but he appears to have some gas in the tank. Takes a quick peek at the clock. 50 seconds. Another shot from Nasser. Brady on his hip, but he's trying to get his hips up. Maybe he can score here. Stalemate with 23 seconds. Brady really good defensively. Low single from Nasser. Final 10 seconds. Good scramble. And no points. Good scramble there to close this championship match at 132, 3-2 final. The national champion from Arizona, Dalton Brady. £138. It's Logan Ryan. And Bettendorf, Iowa, and Aaron Pico from St. John Bosco in Bellflower, California. Ryan in the red singlet, Pico in the blue. Pico, just a freshman, winning the California state title at 132. Last year was a cadets champion at 132. Triple Crown winner, Folkstyle, Freestyle, and Greco. National championships for Aaron Pico. Ryan is a junior at Bettendorf for head coach Dan Knight. Won the state title this season at 132. Was fifth a year ago as a sophomore. Eighth as a freshman. Won here in the juniors last year at 132. Defeated Austin Hood of Kansas. He's won multiple state freestyle and Greco championships through the years. Wrestled freestyle at Fargo last year, did Ryan, didn't place. And there's a takedown for Pico. Pico takedown near the edge. 50 seconds, first period. Logan Ryan and Aaron Pico in this 138-pound final. Pico, an opening round bye, then two techs, a major, another major in the quarters, a second period pin in the semis, pinned Connor Flynn of Missouri. Second takedown makes it 4-1. Closest match for Ryan came in the quarterfinal, 7-6, before a 7-1 decision over Trevor Fegans of Missouri in the semis. Pico slides the left leg in. Leads at 4-1 with a couple of takedowns. Looking for the ride out here late in the first. Able to break down Ryan, and that will give him the ride out. 4-1 in the second period. Pico so explosive, smooth. Four to 2. As Ryan shows bottom, Pico gave him the escape, 4-2, and another takedown, 6-2. Hard to believe he's a freshman. Aaron Pico, freshman there in the blue singlet. And he wants to stay on his feet. Gives the escape, now 6-3. And Ryan dives in, Pico, they go behind, and you know, you watch really good wrestlers, and man, you pay a stiff price, heavy consequence when you take an ill-advised shot. You know, Ryan just dove in, not much of a setup, no short offense. And Pico made him pay, and Pico just putting on a clinic. This is impressive. You got 1 10-second period. He leads at 10-5, 5 takedowns. Another thing I liked with him there was when he gave that last escape, he didn't just cut him. He stayed in contact with him, stayed on his arm, tied him up. Oh, slide by. Drives through. Good short offense there by Pico. Pico doubling up Ryan 12-6. Pico underhook. Snaps him down. Snap down and go behind for 2 more. Takes a quick look at the clock. Thinking 36 seconds. I'm going to give him an escape. You can bet he's going to be gunning for 1 more. 14-7. Couple of touchdowns for Pico. So slick. He's got such good setups and great shots, and makes the finish all the more easier. 16-7. Pico takes a 9-point cushion to the 3rd. And he's got choice, no surprise, wants to stay on his feet. Looking forward to seeing Pico compete at this junior level. Triple Crown winner last year as a cadet. And in command here, 18-7. Make it 18-8. Just constant pressure. He stalks you. Constant pressure, constant attacks. Always moving, always wrestling. 20-8. Just really strong hands. 22-10. Believe it's 11 takedowns. How about a double? A takedown away from a tech. Slide by. 26-11. Impressive. The understatements of the broadcast. Aaron Pico from California. 26-11. Triple Crown winner as a cadet a year ago, and he's a Folkstyle national champion here in Cedar Falls. And he'll look to become a junior Triple Crown winner. Freestyle and Greco come July in Fargo. £145, Tommy Forte and Grant Lamont. Forte from Mishawaka High School, South Bend, Indiana. Bryce Hassman, the head coach. Coming off a state championship. He's a sophomore at 138 pounds. He was third a year ago as a freshman. He's got the camouflage singlet, the knee pad on his right knee. Grant Lamont, Maple Mountain High School in Spanish Fork, Utah. Justin Judkins, his high school head coach. He's a 3-time Utah state champion. He's a senior, was third as a freshman. His most recent state title coming at 152. He's a Utah Freestyle and Greco state champion and a Greco national champion. Won that title at 145 last July. Lamont and Forte here at 145. No score, 50 seconds here in this first period. Lamont, Russian tie, 2-on-1. Lamont in the blue and black singlet. And these two on a collision course, both just tearing through the competition en route to this final. Short time, 15 seconds. Forte's going to elevate. See if he's able to pop his head out. And Lamont will stave off the attack, scoreless second period. Comes up green, Lamont with choice. And he chooses bottom. Forte a little bit early, first caution. And this is big right here. Can Forte ride him? And even if he's able to ride him for 30, 40 seconds, take something out of his gas tank, not going to happen. 8-second escape there by Lamont. We're wrestling neutral. So all those little things might not seem like a big deal. Well, ultimately escapes, but you take something out of his gas tank. Make him pay some kind of price. No free points. No freebies. Both exchange shots. Lamont likes that 2-on-1. That's such a great move, 2-on-1, because it's a great move if you're up by a few and you want to run some time off the clock. You get that 2-on-1, you move forward. Position of attack. And again, it is a great position when setting up shots. 40 seconds here in the second. And Lamont. Attack. And they're going to give Lamont a point that's fleeing the mat. Lamont now leads it 2-0. Lamont 2-0, 31 seconds. And Lamont with that 2-on-1. That was a slick attack. And he was so close to getting a takedown. And now Lamont with a takedown leads at 4-0. And after a scoreless first period, Lamont's in control, 4-0. And Forte will go on bottom here in the third. Lamont's another one of those guys just so solid in all positions, just so strong. Hammer. Leg in. Cross body ride. Banana splits. And Grant Lamont from Utah, our first pin this afternoon. Grant Lamont, your Cliff King USA Wrestling Folkstyle National Champion at 145. Iowa and Missouri going to bash heads here in this 152-pound final. It's Brandon Sorensen of Iowa, Clayton Ream from Missouri. Red ankle bands on Sorensen, four-time Iowa State champion, career record of 208-3, coming off a 57-0 campaign and winning the state title at 145 pounds. Denver High School in Denver, Iowa, that's 2A. Last year, Sorensen was a runner-up, falling to Ream at 145. So this is a rematch of last year's 145-pound final here in juniors. Ream from Wentzville Holt High School in Missouri, head coach Jason Moore. Ream, a state champion in Missouri this year at 145. He was a runner-up as a junior, fourth as a sophomore, third as a freshman. Sorensen, freestyle and Greco champion in Northern Plains, was sixth in freestyle out in Fargo, an All-American last year at 145. Coached by his father, Dwight Sorensen, said he loves having his father there, great support, go back to the house and work on some things, but at the same time, you never really get away, so it's, great situation, but I'm sure at times it might get a little strenuous. Sorensen and Ream here at 152, guys that know each other, no score, just 20 seconds left in this first period. And a scoreless first. Ream will have choice. He'll go on bottom. Ream with 4 pins in this tournament. Second period pin, he stuck Weston Dobler of North Dakota in the semis. And Ream leads it 1-0. Sorensen 4-3. Decision over Iowa's Logan Thompson. Sorensen here splitting the middle, see if he's able to score. Going to be tough right here, probably going to be a stalemate. There it is, 1:23 second period. Now Sorensen, that was definitely his best shot, but caught underneath, and you just can't get caught underneath for even a, you got to be lickety-split on the finishes. Got to be quick. Lickety-split, my favorite Tom Brand's language. Oh, Ream here on a double leg. There's a takedown. 3-0. Huge takedown for Ream. One minute. Sorensen pops to his feet and able to kick away for an escape, 3-1. 22 seconds showing in the second period. Ream, double leg once again. Can he get another one? Sorensen able to get his hips back. Ream with a good double. Almost hit it for the second time. He hit it once in the second period. Takes a 3-1 lead to the third. Sorensen will go on bottom. And it's a one-point match. Seen a lot of college coaches here inside the dome these past couple of days. Coach Manning at Nebraska. Of course, Coach Schwab here at UNI. Sammy Henson walking around from Missouri. A lot of head coaches and assistant coaches. Barry Davis of Wisconsin was here. Coach Miller, Wartburg, 10-time national championship coach there at Wartburg. This was his final season. They sent him out on top. Great coach, phenomenal career. .48 seconds. If I'm Ream, I'm looking for that double to put a cherry on top of this one. What does Sorensen have? What's his go-to shot? He's got 30 seconds. There's a single leg. He's got his head to the inside. Now he's going to be stuffed. Double leg, and now Ream in position to score, trying to get behind. And they give Ream a takedown. I believe the officials are going to talk about it. That was close. They're going to wave it off. I think that was the right call. Score remains 3-2. 18 seconds. Looking at both these guys' hands on their knees. I'm always looking at body language. Keep the hands off the knees. Keep the hands off the hips. Never let that guy think you're tired. Clayton Ream, for the second time in as many years, going to knock off Brandon Sorensen. Last year was at 145. This year here at 152. Clayton Ream from Missouri, your Folkstyle national champion, here at 152. We're up at 160 pounds, Devontae Mahomes and Ryan Blease. Mahomes there in the red singlet from Oak Park and River Forest High School. Head coach Mike Powell there in Illinois. Blease from Bismarck High School in North Dakota. Class A, state champion this year at 160, won the state title a year ago at 138. Qualified as a freshman. Freestyle and Greco state champion at North Dakota. National Greco runner-up, fell to Grant Lamont in that championship final inside the Fargo Dome. Mahomes, a pair of third-place finishes at the Illinois State Tournament. Third is both a sophomore and as a junior. Illinois State Greco champion. Illinois has had so much success at all levels in freestyle and Greco. Blease, double leg, and Mahomes showing some athleticism. Not sure how he got out of that one. What a great shot from Blease. Mike Powell there in the corner for Devontae Mahomes. Of course, Coach Powell, such an inspirational story. One of the premier programs in talent-rich Illinois. Half a minute here in this first period. Most threatening shot was that by Blease on that double. Oh, look at Mahomes. Mahomes on a high crotch. 15 seconds. Blease trying to roll him through. Final 5 seconds. Mahomes looking to pop his head out and score the 2, and time will run out on Mahomes 0-0 to the second period. Mahomes just lightning quick. If you blinked, you missed it. Mahomes second period, he starts on bottom. Mahomes to his feet and fights, peels the hands and escapes for one.
You have a list of the upcoming wrestlers. I just want to see who they are, what state they're from.
Oh, a little arm drag attempt there from Blease. Going to be a fun match. 1-0 here in the second period. Well, both these guys getting after it. Like the pace of this match.
Next two are both Wisconsin? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. How about the next one at 82? Can you tell that?
One's from Minnesota, I know that.
Blease was looking for that arm drag again. Shot from Blease. Now to bounds. One thing with Mahomes is he is so quick, so on your shots, you got to make sure they're good shots, because if not, Mahomes going to make you pay. Just too quick. Now Mahomes on a single leg. Probably going to get a stalemate here. Asked Devontae what his favorite thing was about Coach Powell. He said it's everything. It's the inspiration. It's the love. He said it's everything. Couldn't pick just one thing. Coming up on 30 seconds. Mahomes with an escape in this second period. Our only tally on the board. Blease unable to get past the hands. Blease looking for a throw near the edge, but out of bounds. Blease is inside the center saying, come on, come on. Final seconds in the second period. I love that from Blease. That's what I'm talking about. Get to the center first. Let him know you are ready. And you look at the body language right now with Mahomes. Hands on his knees. Slow back to the center. Blease wasting no time. Gets right in that bottom position. And he's like a rabid dog out there. He can taste it. I'm a huge body language guy. I love paying attention to body language. Blease with an escape now 1-1. Blease 11-4. In the semis. Mahomes 11-1 over Mason Reinhardt of Wisconsin, who's a really tough kid. Shows you how tough Mahomes is. Got ourselves a battle here, one apiece. Watching position here. Who's going to stay in their stance? When you get a little bit tired, position, oftentimes compromise. Who's going to stay in the stance? Blease dives in, double leg, he's in deep. But again, Mahomes keeps his hips back. Blease has had two phenomenal shots with that double. Unable to finish both attempts. Got to be frustrating for Blease. That is going to score on 95% of the guys you wrestle. That just shows Mahomes and his athleticism. Quick. How he did not get that last double, I don't know. Here's Mahomes now with a chance to finish. He's got a double at the edge and scores the takedown. 3-1, 31 seconds. Devontae Mahomes, 20 seconds away from a national title here at 160. A huge takedown late now, 3-2. Inside of 10 seconds. Mahomes hit with stalling, just his first one. Devontae Mahomes, 3-2. As he nips Ryan Blease. Mahomes, Oak Park River Forest High School out of Illinois. Illinois with another national champion, Devontae Mahomes. An all-Wisconsin final. Here at 170 pounds, two guys that know each other well. It's Jacob Morrissey and Jake Stilling. They both have a Wisconsin singlet on. Morrissey's got the red ankle bands. Morrissey from Oconto Falls, Wisconsin, Division II school. He's a three-time state champion, four-time finalist. Lost in overtime back as a freshman. And Jake Stilling from Elkhorn, a two-time state champion. Stilling in Division I. Future Wisconsin Badger. Morrissey will wrestle for the Boilermakers for Coach Hinkle at Purdue. These two met at the Battle on the Bay in the final. It was a match won by Morrissey 3-2. The only defeat suffered this season by Stilling, and Morrissey leads it 2-0. Morrissey is so tough in that with the dumps, and he just did one there to Stilling to lead it 2-0. Now he's got a half Nelson on the far side and an arm bar. Now he's going to switch sides. Morrissey was fifth here last year at 170. Stilling was fifth as a sophomore before capturing his two state championships. Stilling from Elkhorn. He's a state Greco champion, freestyle runner-up. And Morrissey leads this one 4-0. Morrissey with a wrist and going to put Stilling on his back. More back points for Morrissey, 3 upcoming. Still 15 seconds. He's going to work and see if he can get the fall. 7-0, a takedown in 2 turns for Morrissey, 7-0. Morrissey with choice. Going to go on bottom. These two part of the Wisconsin national duels teams these past couple summers. Know each other well. They train together. But Morrissey has come out with a lot of guts in that first period. Stilling, tight waist and a half. Morrissey at Oconto Falls. They're one of the better programs in Division II in the state of Wisconsin. Dave Brazier, Mark Kinziger, and Jack Magnan. Tri-head coaches there at Oconto Falls. Another point with the escape. Morrissey dives right back in on a double. Now switches off to a single. Now he's going to hook that leg, see if he can pop his head out. This reminds me of Jesse Delgado from Illinois, the national champion at 125. He's textbook in this position. And Morrissey, you're going to pop his head and get the 2. 10-0. Going to go right back to that arm bar. Ken Reynolds, head coach at Elkhorn. I know Jake Stilling does a lot of training with Jim Schmitz at Ringers, club down in Milwaukee. And Stilling on the board with a reversal. You know, the thing when you're wrestling tough guys is they're dangerous. And again, you got to keep wrestling. You're always under attack. You're vulnerable. Got to keep wrestling. Because state champions, you get lazy, you get out of position, going to make you pay. Short time, second period. Locked hands on Stilling will give a point to Morrissey, who's in control up by 9, 11-2. And Stilling chooses neutral. And again, with his Greco background, going to be looking for something big. Not like what Morrissey does there, getting on the legs. Stilling rolls him through, squares his hips up. And Stilling with 2 more, but still down by 7. Stilling here with an arm bar and a half. Trying to load him up and tilt him. Gets a 2 count. Two near follow-up coming, and again, Stilling was down big in this one, but you keep on wrestling, always looking to improve, capitalize on an opportunity. You get a takedown, now you get a turn. Now it's 11-6. I mean, the reality is, now with a reversal there by Morrissey, the reality is you're going to lose the match. Hard to dig yourself that deep of a hole against a good kid like Morrissey, but still, go out there and at that point work to win positions, and that's what he did. Got a takedown, got a turn. At least gives you something, I think, to take away from this, and if nothing else, you know you competed. You didn't lay down for the guy. you can never, as a coach, I guess, demand that your athlete wins, but you can demand that he competes. 13-6 in a battle of Wisconsin state champions. And now Morrissey's got him in a tight headlock. And Morrissey going to hang tight. I know, again, these guys are buddies, and that might have been a situation where didn't pin him if he had to. Think he might have been able to do that. 16-6 after those near fall points. 16-6. Morrissey over Stilling. Jacob Morrissey of Wisconsin, your 170-pound Folkstyle national champion. Make our way to 182 pounds, Sohrab Movahedi. Granada Hills High School in California. And Bobby Stevenson now lives in Apple Valley, Minnesota. Recently moved there from Indiana. Captured the state title for Maryville High School at 170. Was fifth year ago as a freshman, was Stevenson. Movahedi, the high single, trips him down to the mat for two. Stevenson, second here a year ago as a cadet at 160, lost to Javon Perkins from Nebraska. Stevenson, state freestyle champion, was third as a cadet last year in Fargo at 170. Movahedi plans on wrestling at Cal Poly, where he's verbaled. Third this season at 182, a year ago a state qualifier in California. Good action, 1 minute in, 3-2. Stevenson up by one. And Movahedi escapes 3-3. And right back in with a leg attack. These two getting after it here in this first period. At Granada Hills, coaches Nestor Sandoval, Jimmy Medeiros, and Caleb Smith. Movahedi trying to suck up a single heavy hips from Stevenson. Three second period comes up red, and Stevenson will go on bottom. Shane Sparks from here inside the McLeod Center, University Northern Iowa. Cliff Keene, USA Wrestling Folkstyle National Championship. Stevenson back out in front. This is seesaw affair. Escape makes it 4-3. Stevenson with a nice shot. quickly gets to his feet. Can he finish? Great opportunity here. Plenty of time, 1:40. Stay patient. And he tried to go to a double. And a missed opportunity there by Stevenson. He was in good shape. Mulvaney there with the shot. Mulvaney, hands on the hips, breathing heavy. Been high-paced match. Injury time, Mulvaney, believe that is his left pinky they're working on. Not sure if he dislocated that pinky, not sure. Don't believe so. I think he's all right. Shakes it off. Back to the center. Stevenson 4, Mulvaney 3. Mulvaney staying right with it. Trying to cut the corner. And both these guys just not giving anything up. Now Stevenson at the edge. He's going to score the point and put Mulvaney on his back. You talk about wrestling the position. Stevenson right there. What great wrestling. Again, looked like he was dead to rights, but didn't stop. Not only does he not give it the takedown, puts Mulvaney on his back. Beast. That is it's a 7-point swing. And now Stevenson has opened things up, leads at 9-3, 26 seconds. That was impressive. And if you're Mulvaney right now, you're going back to the center, hands on the hips, probably pretty deflated, going, what do you want me to do? Caution on Stevenson. I mean, that is just feel. It's wrestling the position, staying tough, grinding it out, but a lot of feel to that too, natural talent. Good return. Really impressed with Stevenson. Just his toughness and grit. He's just a sophomore in high school. Pretty amazing when you look at some of these USA Wrestling national events, the talent that you get to see. I never had dreams where I was half as good as some of these kids. And Stevenson, 9-3 up by 6. And Mulvaney will go on bottom. Mulvaney to his feet, lowers his hips, but Stevenson able to stay with him. Tight waist, ankle pick, drives him down flat, and there's always that one moment when you see somebody's head go down and you know you might have broken him, and you saw right there with Mulvaney. Stevenson ankle pick, drives him hard back to his belly, and Mulvaney kind of kept his head down there. And Stevenson again goes back to the tight waist and the ankle pick, forward pressure. Pretty suffocating right now in Mulvihitti. Stevenson stable to chase hip, stays right with him. Point to Mulvihitti, 9-4. Mulvihitti with the roll. Stevenson just relentless on top. Has a wrist, able to break him down again. Can see him taking his pace up here in this third period on top. Got a half. That time Mulvihitti lowers his hips and escapes 9-5. He's got 25 seconds. Needs something for 5 to sneak this one out. Going to be tough. You look at Stevenson right there, just maintaining position. Head fighting, hand fighting. Shot from Mulvihitti. Stevenson wisely back inside the circle, out of bounds, 8 seconds. Bobby Stevenson. He's your champion at 182 pounds. Stevenson over Mulvihitti, 9-5. Stevenson of Apple Valley takes some hardware back to Minnesota. £195. Preston Weigel from Hayes, Kansas. And Lance Bannack to Tina Grace, Fridley, Minnesota. Bannack, two-time Minnesota State champion. To Tina Grace, AA. Bannack, a Triple Crown winner last year as a cadet. Weigel, a state champion. He's a junior. Won the title at 195, last year at 170. Runner-up as a freshman. Weigel and Bannack here at 195. Talk about a couple of horses, just athletes. And Weigel, an opening round bye, 16-0 Tech, 15-0 Tech, 11-0 Major, 17-1 Tech in the semis. Bannack began his tournament with a Tech, then a couple of decisions before a Tech in the quarters, and a 4-1 decision in the semis, beat Jason Goebel of Iowa.
That's a weird dynamic to me.
Weigel coached at Hayes High School there in Kansas by John Hayflicker. At Totina Grace, Doug Schwiel, head coach for Bannack. Love these weight classes, 195, 220, just great athletes. I mean, I'm assuming, again, just assuming these guys, linebackers on the football team, how'd you like to get hit by one of these guys at full speed? And no score after one. Bannack with choice, defers, and Weigel will go on bottom. Again, a little bit surprised by the choice there by Bannack to defer, but we'll see how it plays out.
He's lighting them up. You got a hard cut. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Just don't understand it.
Hard cut, heavy on the head.
And there, too, I mean, you want to give a guy an escape. If you're Bannack, I mean, you're skilled. Get out in front, heavy on the head. Let him get up once or twice. Slam him back down to the ground. Take something out of the gas tank. No freebies. Weigel leads at 1-0. Now, if Bannack has choice in the third period and goes on bottom, now I'm really going to be confused. You got more energy in the second period. Throw the first punch. Get on the board first. Of course, I say all this, you know, easy to say at my spot. Yeah, I must admit I was not on the same weightlifting program as these two guys. Man, just beasts. 1:15 second period. Haven't seen a real threatening attack from the neutral position by either wrestler. There, Bannack hit with stalling. Weigel pushing the pace. Oh, good shot there from Bannack, but you see the hips of Weigel. Quick. And when you look at both these guys, it's one thing to get through, you know, get past the head and the hands, but to get past the hips, whole nother story. Both these guys with cinder blocks. Inside of 30 seconds in this second period. And we'll take the 1-0 score to the third. So now Bannack with choice. And he chooses neutral. This match has basically been wrestled 4 minutes neutral. He did have that one good double. There he goes back to it. Hard whizzer there from Weigel, and Weigel able to keep this a 1-0 match. Bannack's got the attacks. He's been close a couple of times. Could be a case there where Bannack and his coaching staff has done some scouting on Weigel. I haven't seen him up until this final. But you look at the tournament he's had. Sure, he's a hammer on top. Maybe they felt they couldn't get away. Bannack's been more aggressive. Weigel has yet to been hit with stalling, but Bannack's been more aggressive here in this last minute and a half, going back to that second period. We got a minute left, and there's a stalling call on Weigel. And Bannack with a single, but he's extended. Bannack hanging on to an ankle. Weigel's going to try to kick out of it. Bannack here hoping for a stalemate. He gets it with 30 seconds. Both these guys been hit once for stalling. And here's where with 20 seconds, you just got to leave it all inside that circle. Repeated attempts there from BANNACH. Goes back to that double. He keeps the 2 inside the circle and gets the 2. With 13 seconds, BANNACH's got his first lead 2-1. Shot that double 4, 5, 6 times, and that time able to capitalize with the finish. Great persistence, and that double is going to give Lance BANNACH of Minnesota the Folkstyle National title at 195, the Triple Crown winner, and he's got the first leg here in Iowa. Great match. Give BANNACH a lot of credit. Relentless with his attacks and able to finish late. His arm raised. The champ at 195. Some conversation here at the table. It was a close call on that 2 at the edge, but in those situations, hey, I like to see the guy, you're the guy attacking. If there's a benefit of the doubt, I'd like to see that attacking wrestler get it. Because he just kept on that double. That was Derek Sikora-esque. Derek with USA Wrestling, a national champ for UW Eau Claire. From what I've been told, quite the double. Says not anymore. 220 pounds. There's a quick score from Benjamin Andrew. He's from Arizona, from Mesa, right to his back, and 14 seconds in, a big crooked 5 spot on the board. Talk about throwing the first punch. Andrew, a state champion at 220 pounds this past season. He was 5th here a year ago, part of the Arizona dual team. Caleb Stack from Waverly Shell Rock here in Iowa. Stack, a junior, he was 5th this season at this 220-pound weight class before qualifying as both a freshman and sophomore. He was 4th here a year ago as a cadet at 220. Iowa freestyle champion and All-American, placing 6th as a cadet in Fargo last summer. Andrew with a hammer lock inside of a minute first period, already with 1 turn. And Andrew, he's been a wrecking ball. Second period pin out of the gates, then 3 straight techs, most recently in the semis, 16-0 over Indiana's Fletcher Miller. Stack, he's been tested a few times. Won his first match in the ultimate tiebreaker 4-2, then a first period pin. Won 8-6 in the first sudden victory in the quarters, and then 6-5 in the ultimate tiebreaker. So he's been battle tested here in Cedar Falls. Nothing wrong with that. That's how you get better. Some big wins and finding a way to win. But overmatched in the first period by Benjamin Andrew. Andrew, a quick takedown, went right to the tilt. Another turn, 8-0. Neutral to begin the second. Great event. Very well-ran tournament, all kinds of competition. And they've really built this into a premier event in all the country. You know, Stack underneath, but Andrew spins around behind, 10-0. Looks like he's loading up again. We're going to peel him back into a hammerlock. If you're Stack in this position, got to find a way to get your knees underneath. Try to build a base. Andrew will get his 5 count. 13-0. And we'll have a tech here at 220 pounds, Benjamin Andrew. Second period, Tech 15-0, Andrew from Arizona. Your 220-pound national champion. Took care of business here in Iowa, and he'll look forward to getting back to that 80-degree weather in Arizona. Our final match comes at 285 pounds. Dean Broghammer from West Delaware High School in Manchester, Iowa. And Adam Kuhn from Fowlerville, Michigan. 4-time Michigan State champion, career record of 212-3. All 3 of those losses suffered in his freshman year. Last year won this title defeating Cole Johnson. He was a Triple Crown winner. Had that big win, I believe it was in freestyle against Brooks Black of Pennsylvania, the future Illinois Fighting Illini. Kuhn, a couple years back, won a cadet freestyle world championship. The future Michigan Wolverine. Quick throw there by Kuhn. Adam Kuhn, all-state football, highly recruited in both wrestling and football. He said, I love both sports, but I would have missed wrestling more. That ultimately was the difference, and he's grown up in the sport, coached by his father, Dan Kuhn. And I will say this about Adam Kuhn. Inside that circle, it is all business. He is as mean as it gets, but you talk about a polite young man. He's so polite, well-spoken, wise beyond his years, and one of those guys, you look at him at this level and you think to yourself, here's a guy that when it's all said and done, I think he's going to accomplish some great things.
This was a big matchup,
First round, defeating Michael Johnson of Wyoming Seminary 3-0. That was his closest match. Beat Newton Smirchek of Luxembourg Casco, couple-time Wisconsin State champion, 10-5 in the semis. Broghammer, he's a great story too. Broghammer was a JV wrestler as both a freshman and as a sophomore. Gets an opportunity at the varsity level as a junior, takes 3rd, and this season in 2A in Iowa wins a state title at 285. That's a great story. With all due respect to Broghammer here, he's outmatched. I mean, Adam Kuhn destroys everybody. But I really like it, talking to Broghammer after the semis. It's a great story. A lot of guys, I'm not going to be on varsity. I don't want to wrestle. I'll do something else. But he stayed with it, kept working hard, got an opportunity, and he's competing hard here with Kuhn. He's not backing down. Down 10-2, but he's not backing down. He keeps fighting. You don't see that too often. A guy that gets his first crack at varsity as a junior and wins a state title. As I said, 3rd as a junior, state champion this year. Jeff Voss, head coach there at West Delaware High School in Manchester. Broghammer chooses bottom. As I mentioned, Kuhn, he'll go to Michigan. Man, you look at the Big Ten at heavyweight. It's not sure if he's going to redshirt. They're going to talk it over, him and the Michigan coaching staff, as Kuhn has a cradle locked up. But you look at guys like Kuhn will be at Michigan. I mentioned Brooks Black at Illinois, Connor Medbury at Wisconsin, McMullen, of course, at Northwestern is there, Nelson in Minnesota. I mean, these heavyweights are incredible. Three more makes it 13-2. Kuhn just so powerful, going to sink in a half. And now he's going to settle in, and Adam Kuhn gets the pin. And Adam Kuhn for Michigan picks up another Folkstyle National Championship. The future Michigan Wolverine, Adam Kuhn, your 285-pound champion. In recapping our 15 matches here today, give you the champions at 100 pounds. It was Michael BANNACH of Wisconsin, 106 pounds. Was Christopher Lacayo from California. Brian Rossi of Illinois, the champion at 113 pounds. Zahid of Valencia nipped Ronnie Bresser in a good battle at 120. My apologies, didn't take good enough notes at 126 pounds. Actually believe that was Trey Blackwell from Kentucky. It was Blackwell that won the title at 126. At 132 pounds, it was Arizona's Dalton BRADY. 138 pounds, what a performance from Aaron Pico of California. Grant Lamont with a pin. Lamont from Utah at 145. At 152, it was Clayton Ream of Missouri. Our 160-pound champion, Illinois' Devontae Mahomes. Jacob Morrissey stands atop the podium this afternoon as your champion at 170 pounds. Bobby Steveson, now of Apple Valley, Minnesota, your champion at 182 pounds. Lance Bennick with that late double. Lance Bennick of Minnesota, your champion at 195 pounds. At 220, Benjamin Andrew with a tech. Andrew from Arizona. And at 285 pounds, the beast, Adam Kuhn from Michigan, picking up another national title. That'll wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Congratulations to our 15 Cliff Keen USA Wrestling Folkstyle National Champions. The first leg of the Triple Crown, of course, Freestyle and Greco to come this July inside the Fargo Dome in Fargo, North Dakota. A lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. I'm Shane Sparks saying so long and good afternoon from the McLeod Center on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa. Again, this has been the Cliff Keen USA Wrestling Folkstyle National Championships.